super windy out, guys. I don't know how many of you guys are in here yet, but I just got done filming a Q&A and figured since I'm all set up in here that I would go live for a little bit. So I have my window open because it got really hot in here while I was filming. So it's open and we have a storm coming, so it's super windy. Sorry about that. Hi everyone. Thank you, Ava. Bear's in here with me. Well, everybody's in here with me except for Felix and the cat. But Bear is sitting at my feet right now. So, hi, Pig. You say hi to everybody? He's like, what is going on, guys? All of the grounders are a little freaked out by the storm coming. So, yeah. Let me scroll back up here. Whatchamacallit? YouTube has still not added a slow chat feature, which they should do. Oh, thanks for the compliments on the hair and the makeup, guys. You guys are super, super sweet. There we go. Bear is very cute. He is kind of a stinker, though. He's definitely... I had to lock him out while I was filming the Q&A because he kept bumping into things and stuff because he was right at my feet. And now he is scrolling around the floor trying to find any piggy poops that have fallen out of the cage. I vacuumed. You're out of luck, dude. The chat disappears, which is frustrating. Show all live messages. Here we go. I live in the same city as you. Oh, cool. Fellow Cincinnatian. How do you handle having so many animals? It's amazing. I actually answered that in the Q&A. Routine. I gotta stay in a routine. If I get out of my routine, then things get messy. You guys want to see a hedgehog? Show your hedgehog, please. Okay. 1 second then. 2 seconds, actually, because they're asleep. Let me get one out. I'll get Draco because he's more likely to not be a jerk. And actually, let me get like a cuddle cup or something in case he tries to poop on me, because I would appreciate not being pooped on right now. Okay, come here, Bubbles. Alright, I have him. Let's see. What did I miss? How do I get it to come back up? Here we go. Okay, here he is. Oh, I'm gonna give him a second. I know, baby. See, I just woke up, guys. I'm not even all the way awake yet. Here we go. You see him? Can we see the guinea pigs too? The guinea pigs are actually behind me. What are they doing? There's Pippin there, and Mary you can see just barely in the corner back there. Yes, this is Draco. He's so upset about being woken up. Oh, I'll give him another minute to sort of wake up. I kind of pulled him out of his cage and put him in front of a camera. How old are you? I am 23. Oh, I know, poop butt. I know. So sassy. Oh, so sass. How often do you bring your Hedgie to the vet? Mostly whenever it's sick. We try to do yearly checkups, but we have missed those this year so far. We need to do them, but with the move and stuff, they definitely skipped those this year, unfortunately. see. Sorry, I'm just scrolling because it goes kind of fast. What do you use when your guinea pigs have bumblefoot? My guinea pigs actually have never had bumblefoot, and they are the only guinea pigs I've ever owned, so I've never had to treat it before. But Skinny Pigs 1 just posted a video on that, and so, or no, she just posted a video on foot soaks, and Squeak Dreams just posted a video on actual bumblefoot. Was it recent? She's posted one before, though, for sure. I would check out their channels for that. How can you tell if they are sick? Lots of different ways. It sort of depends on what kind of illness they're having, but yeah, it sort of just depends on what's going on with them. But if they're not acting normal, then it's probably time for them to go see a vet. Did I mention that Bear's kind of a stinker? He's howling like crazy. When are you posting your next video? I actually filmed it today, so since I'm going live now, this will go up as a video today. So the video I filmed today will either go up Saturday or Sunday or Monday. One of those 3 days. What is bumblefoot? Bumblefoot is they're like sores and things that guinea pigs and other rodents can get on their feet. What are Whimsocool's prices for a cage set? You know, I don't know, but I bet she has them on her website, which is just facebook.com/Whimsocool. And if she doesn't, I can actually ask her and maybe make up like a little photo thingy for you guys or something. I love your shirt. Thank you. It's new. I like it too. It's got flowers. It's sort of springy. How can you tell your guinea pigs apart? Is either one of them in the shot? Well, here, hold on. Come here. Come here. Well, Pippin here, he actually has like a brindle brown spot on his butt. On his right side, when he turns, you'll be able to see it a little bit. And then Mary, who seems to have no interest in coming out of bed, he's in that corner up there. He actually has orange on him. He's got little gingery spots. Sorry, scrolling back up. Every time I answer a question, you guys whiz right on by. What is the best bedding for hedgehogs? I personally like fleece. My hedgehog is always grumpy unless she's running around. Then she's completely content. Blaze is like that. We call those explorers or runners. Sometimes people get cuddlers. Sometimes people get runners. What brand of food do you feed your hedgehogs? Right now I'm just feeding From. I need to do an updated diet video actually because I've changed my diet a little bit. I still recommend the one I was using, but I'm not using it anymore, so I haven't updated it. How often do you clean them? As needed. How much do visits to the vet cost? I'm a student debating on getting one, but can't afford hundreds on vet care. They are expensive. It depends on the area. Call the exotic vets in your area and ask for a pricing on hedgehogs. But you really want to... Sorry, I get distracted. The beauty of editing is that I can edit that stuff out. I can't do it live. But yeah, call the vet in your area that treats hedgehogs or multiple and get the pricing down. It costs us about $175 to take our hedgehogs in for just a checkup. If something was wrong, it'd be more. Will you ever buy a sugar glider? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. Their diets are pretty complicated. If I was to get a sugar glider, I would probably have it when we had, well, you need multiples. So I would probably have them when we had less pets. I know, baby. Here. You want to sit on your cuddle cup? It's probably best. There. You can hang out in the corner there. Will you ever get a ferret? Not as long as we have a cat. Or at least not a cat like Knox, because Knox is quite the hunter. Do you know any other Etsy sites that would be good for hedgehog snuggle sacks and etc.? Actually, not really, because I haven't bought from Etsy in a long time. I almost always buy from Whim So Cool, which is facebook.com/WHIMSEWCOOL. Like whimsical, but Whim So Cool. I pretty much get all of my stuff from her, so I'm kind of useless with the Etsy recommendations these days, but you can actually just go on Etsy and type in snuggle sacks, and they will have, you know, a ton there for you to search for. Just look at the reviews of those and shop with a place that has good reviews. Sorry, Draco's really upset with me because I'm talking kind of loud just so that you guys can pick up on it, and he's like, "You are yelling, Mom." Do you feed your guinea pigs pellets? I do. I know that it's really popular not to these days, but I also have seen some of the people that don't feed pellets, their guinea pigs lose weight, and then they have to compensate with other things, and I'm just, with my knowledge of guinea pigs and how old my guinea pigs are and things like that, I'm gonna stick with pellets for now. How many pets do you have in total? 10. How big should hedgehog cages be? 4 square feet. Do you think that fleece is the best bedding for hedgehogs? I mean, it's my favorite, but I can't really say one is best over the other, to be honest. Sort of depends. What's the easiest way to clip nails? My favorite way is in the bath. I have a video on that, actually. Is it okay if I name my baby hedgehog after Blaze? Go for it. Blaze is actually named after Blaze Zabini from Harry Potter, one of Draco Malfoy's friends. Do you have any siblings? I do. I have 3 sisters. Is 17 degrees Celsius too cold for a hedgehog? Yes. You want between 22 degrees and 27 degrees Celsius. Is it normal for hedgehogs to squeal while sleeping? It can be. How do you heat a hedgehog in a power cut? So I actually have a video on this called emergency heating or something like that, but your best bet is to have hand warmers on hand. I keep a whole pack of them on hand at all times so that I can slip one in their beds if the power goes out. Where do you put them when you clean them? I have carriers, but honestly, I just take them in whatever bed they're in and I set them on the floor because mine don't move. I just make sure that I lock the other animals out if I'm doing that. Have you read Harry Potter? Yeah, I've read a lot of Harry Potter. Almost half of the pets are named after Harry Potter characters, and probably the other half are named after Lord of the Rings. Where can I find it? I tried and can't. Sorry, I've answered other questions, so now I can't remember. Oh, okay. The nail clipping video. You can go on my channel if you go to my hedgehog playlist. It's in there. It should be semi-close to the top of the playlist. Is it okay for my hedgehog that is not active during the night and day? Realistically, they should be active during the night for sure. They could not, English. They could be too cold at night, and that could be keeping them from being active. because they should be active at night. They shouldn't be during the day, really. What guinea pig's pellets do you use? I use Oxbow. Yeah, I use Oxbow Adult Cat V Cuisine, to be specific. I don't use the young one because that has alfalfa in it. Is it bad to feed a cat too much wet food or catnip? Because someone I know just got a cat and it won't stop throwing up. You can overdo it on the catnip. They definitely shouldn't ingest a ton of catnip. It shouldn't be an issue with wet food. It could be an issue with the cat litter. Some cat litters are toxic, and when they lick their feet, it can make them sick. Try switching to a better cat litter. I don't know what Matt uses, but he might want to switch it up, because that sounds more likely than the wet food. Knox is on a completely all wet food diet because I am not about to deal with a cat getting a UTI, because when cats get urinary tract infections, they pee all over the place, and I'm not. We are renters. I don't want cat pee anywhere but in a litter box. So, Knox is on all wet food, and he doesn't have an issue with puking. So, it's more than likely the cat litter or the catnip, depending on how much she is getting. Do you change your shirt after holding a hedgehog? If they pee and poop on me, that's why I'm holding him in a cuddle cup right now, because he tends to pee right after he's first woken up. I live in Florida, so no heating needed. That honestly depends on how warm you keep your house, though, because in the summer I cool my house down to like 70 degrees, and that's too cold for hedgehogs. What pets are good for 12-year-olds? Depends on the 12-year-old, to be honest. And the parents. Your parents need to be on board. If your parents don't want pets, then you're going to have to wait until you get older. Do you think heat pads are good for hedgehogs? Because some are heavy and I'm scared my hedgehog getting squished. Heat pads aren't recommended for hedgehogs because if they short out, they can cause very, very serious burns. There are several hedgehogs with second and third degree burns on their bodies from heat pads overheating. Do you have to be careful with salmonella in their feces? Not really. Any animal can carry salmonella, including us. Just practice proper, hygiene. If your hedgehog poops on your hands, go wash your hands, that sort of thing. Don't handle food right after holding your hedgehog if you haven't washed your hands or something like that. But no, it's not a major concern. My hedgehog is very friendly and rarely hisses. My hedgehogs are both very sassy and hiss all the time. Draco is incredibly friendly, but I'm being kind of loud for you guys just to make sure that you can hear me, because I'm not sure how good my phone picks up on me. So if I get quieter and I'm not yelling in his ear, he calms down a lot. You guys know, though, because I film, any of you guys that have watched my hedgehog care videos know that I film them almost all the time with Draco, and he's pretty great. Have you ever heard of KMS Hayloft pellets? That's what Skinny Pig 1 uses. Actually, yeah, I used to feed them. Abby feeds Oxbow now. She's on Oxbow now. And I'm on Oxbow now too, just because KMS is really expensive to ship. Very, very expensive. If you don't live near them, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. So I get Oxbow because I can get it in store. I can also get it shipped for free with Amazon if I need to. During the night, I keep my room at 75 to 80, but still not active. Is this bad? It sort of depends on the hedgehog. Are they still eating and drinking all right? Then Maybe he's just not a very active hedgehog. Have you ever bled from a hedgehog quill? Yes, I have. When I first got Blaze, he went through a really bad quilling. I think I've told this story before in an old video, but he went through a very, very bad quilling. And when he did, oh boy, was he mad. Anytime you touched him, he used to pop in my hand. And one time he did it so hard, he popped out of my hand, and I swooped to catch him, and he hit my hand, and oh man, he made me bleed. There were little tiny holes everywhere. It's the only time that's ever happened. Can you make a Tenric care video? Yes, I can. It'll probably be a little while though. Tenrics are relatively new to the scene, and they are certainly new to me. So I like to sort of, I might have to like write myself a little bit of a script for that one. My hedgehog has sadly lost her eye, and she isn't running as much at night. I'm thinking about downsizing her cage. Is that a good idea? Yeah, when hedgehogs lose their eye, they can benefit from a smaller cage. Don't make it too small, but they can definitely benefit from something smaller. If she has her other eye, it's probably her depth perception that's bugging her a little bit. They don't have very good eyesight anyway, so they don't rely on their eyes too much. I know a lot of people sort of downsize the cage initially and then make it bigger later on again when they're sort of used to the eye loss. My house is normally 75 degrees. It's okay. If your house is 75, the cage is probably lower than that. I would get a thermometer and make sure. I thought she used KMS because of the different kind of calcium, not the kinds that bladder stones are made out of. All calcium pretty much can cause bladder stones. She used KMS because it's the food with the lowest calcium. That's why I used it too. Oxbow has the second lowest amount of calcium, I believe. It's easier to access. If you use heater lights for hedgehog cages, are they reptile cage heaters? I hope that makes sense. Sort of. They are they're designed for reptiles as well, but they are the kind that don't emit light. I have a video on it that I uploaded last week. Might be my last video or the one before that. My hedgehog only hisses when I wake her up, which is pretty typical, but otherwise she is very sweet. Aw, that's good though. That's great. What's the difference between a ceramic heat-emitting light versus a heat bulb? The difference is one emits light and the other doesn't. So, you know, you want to use the one that doesn't emit light, the ceramic heat emitter, because you can use it at night without keeping your hedgehog in bed all night. Are hedgehogs worth the money? I think so. I think all of my pets are worth the money. Oh, what? Are you irritated with me? Oh. He's so fussy, guys. It's actually probably a little chilly where I'm sitting because I'm in front of the window. How old are Draco and Blaze? They are both 3. Would you recommend a hedgehog or a Tenric? Totally depends on how much you want to spend, because Tenrics are very expensive and they're definitely a specialty exotic pet. Say hi, guys. Hey, will you make more hedgehog videos? Yeah, my last video was a hedgehog video. I try to rotate. I just filmed a Q&A, so it'll be a little bit before another hedgehog video comes out. Are any of the hamsters awake? No. It's too early for them. No, they're both out cold. Technically, this guy wasn't even awake. I just woke him up because someone asked to see a hedgehog. Oh, I know, baby. You went back in your cuddle cup? I was letting them see you, your face. Knowing that you're not just a ball of huff. Okay, let me go back up. What's the benefit of having a hedgehog? It's sort of a complicated question because, like, what's the benefit of having any pet? Kind of have a companion there. I paid $150. Is that overpriced? No. They can get much more expensive than that, especially depending on the color. Do you think tenrics are less grumpy than hedgehogs? Absolutely. My tenric is pretty much never grumpy. He doesn't appreciate being woken up very much, but even he, like, doesn't throw little tantrums. Hedgies cost about $200 CAD here in Quebec. Yeah, they can get pretty pricey. That's like... I'm not very good at the conversion in my head of CAD to USD, but that's like closer to 300 USD than it is 200. How fast are hedgehogs? Depends on the hedgehog. How is your newest hamster? He's doing all right. I definitely had a bit of a breakthrough with him the other day. He's been taking food from me, sort of. He sort of takes it and then runs away. So we're getting there, but he's still really skittish. I think that's a common issue with buying hamsters from pet stores in general, though. But I think in the video I mentioned when we got him, it was really important to me that Jake, my boyfriend, got our fiance now, got a pet that he really wanted. And so yeah, he got to pick and stuff. Are hedgehogs good pets for a 13-year-old? Do they cost a lot of money, and are they hard to take care of? They do cost a lot of money, and they can be hard to take care of, depending on the temperament of your hedgehog. Whether or not they're a good pet for a 13-year-old sort of depends on the 13-year-old. I love your hair color. Thanks. I actually need to get it redone. You can't really tell, but my roots are coming through. I sort of like cut you guys off, so you can't see them. Well, it's a good thing I had him on the cuddle cup because he's pooping, guys, and peeing. Congrats on getting engaged. Thank you. I'm not wearing my ring right now because I have the pets. Where should I find cute stuff at a good price? Etsy, or my favorite shop to buy things from is facebook.com/whimsewcool. That's WHIMSEWCOOL. That's where all of my things are from, pretty much. Did you adopt your guinea pigs? This is sort of. I mean, I got them off of Craigslist. So yeah, I'd say that's adopting. Woo! We're gonna put him away because now I got poop in my face and it stinks. I'll be right back. 1 second. Oh my goodness. Poopy pig. Why you gotta be pooping on me for, huh? That's yuck. Oh, okay. Sorry about that, guys. Do hedgehogs smell a lot? How often do you clean the cage? I clean the cage weekly and vacuum every day to every other day, depending on where they've pooped and how much. They mostly smell when they're actively going to the bathroom. Like when their poop is fresh, you can smell it. But after that, not really. I haven't watched you in forever. Well, welcome back. Do your hedgehogs like to be pet in specific areas of the body? Mine likes to be pet from in between his nose to his forehead. Blaze. Well, okay, Blaze doesn't like to be pet at all. Draco likes to be pet in the same spot, sort of on his forehead, but that's about it. Sometimes he'll let me rub his feet. What are the best ways to bond with your hedgehog? Just getting them out and hanging out with them. There isn't really a sort of rhyme or reason as to what is the best way to hang out with your hedgehog. It's sort of dependent on the hedgehog. A lot of my hedgehogs I have two. My two hedgehogs just come out with me. They sit on my lap. I, hold them in my hands. I walk around with them. Sometimes I'll put them in a bonding bag and carry them around. Things like that. What is the cage right behind you? Is it a rat cage? Like the whole thing? Or just this one specifically? This is the Tenric's cage. This is Finn's. But the whole thing, is 3 critter nations. So we got 1, 2, and then there's 3. And that's all the pets in there. Do I have a room tour? No, I haven't done a room tour since we moved, guys. Well, the room's always a mess anyway, so... Under the guinea pig cage. So under the guinea pig cage we have, this is a Syrian hamster cage, and then the Tenric cage, and then another Syrian hamster. I have cage tours on both of the Syrian hamster cages. I don't have a cage tour on the Tenric cage yet because it's not quite how I want it. How long do hedgehogs live for? 3 to 5 years is the average. Is it okay if I have my hedgehog in my room? Yeah. As long as it's warm enough in the cage. Where have you gotten Draco and Blaze? I'm looking for good breeders to adopt from. So I got mine from a breeder local to me called Hedgehogs. She's in Dayton. My recommendation for finding a good breeder is to go on some of the Facebook groups for hedgehogs. There's a bunch of them. There's Hedgehogs and Things, which is the one I run, but it's mostly for people who own hedgehogs that want to talk about things besides hedgehogs. So we can all relate to each other because we own hedgehogs, but the group isn't always about hedgehogs. Anyway, so there's that one. There's Hedgehogs Anonymous, which I'm not in, but I used to be in, and that's a really big group. You're almost guaranteed to get breeder recommendations in there. Hedgehog Happenings, another really big group. You'll get a lot of recommendations there. Hedgehog Welfare Society, which you can actually get hedgehogs from them. That they're not a breeder, but they are a rescue, so you can get a rescue hedgehog if you want one. So search the hedgehog pages, ask for a recommendation in your area. They will give you an answer, and they'll warn you away from some of the not so great ones, which is always helpful. What is your real name? My name's Tori. Is there any way to tell what kind of hedgehog it is when you buy it? Not really. Unless you buy an adult and it's from a previous owner who could tell you their personality. If you buy a baby, there's no way. It's a toss-up. You'll have no idea because they can change from when they're a baby to when they're an adult. Can you put the hedgehog and the Tenric next to each other? Do they play or fight? I mean, I could put them next to each other. They don't next to each other as in one on one side of my legs and the other on the other side, and they wouldn't pay much attention to each other. But I wouldn't put them together and let them interact because hedgehogs are solitary. They fight with a lot of the animals. Are pigs a good pet? They are, but they are high maintenance. Would you ever get a rabbit? Yeah, we were actually talking about getting rabbits at one day. When should I wash my hedgehog? Whenever it's dirty. Like, whenever you think it needs it. There's no really set amount. I wouldn't do it too often because then their skin can dry out, but mine probably get baths like twice a month. How do you get used to your hedgehog's poop? I don't think you really do. You just kind of get over it. Like, oh, my hedgehog's pooping again. What's better for dry skin, olive oil or coconut oil? Coconut oil probably, but they're about the same. I use coconut oil and it seems to work just fine. I've used olive oil and it worked pretty great. Yeah, I mean, they're about the same. How long does quilling last the first time? It depends on the hedgehog. It can be any length of time, really, during their first year or so. Is an exercise pen for a dog or a cat good for a hedgehog? If your hedgehog's an explorer, yeah, they'll use it. If I put Blaze in an exercise pen, he'd actually use it, because if I put him on the floor, he'll run around. Draco, on the other hand, would curl up and not move. Would you ever get a rat? I love rats so much, but my fiance isn't quite as fond of them. That doesn't mean much, though, because I'm the one that takes care of the pets most of the time. So, yeah, I would totally. Do you recommend single-story critter nations for hedgehogs? Yeah, that's what I have. Technically, I mean, my hedgehogs are in their own story each. They just happen to be stacked, but they're still... They each have their own single story. Do any of your pets have a smell? If so, which one? The Tenric. The Tenric does have a smell. Not so much him, his pee. His pee definitely has a smell. I wouldn't so much say he stinks, but he smells like Fritos. Or like dirty dog feet, if you've ever smelled a dirty dog foot. Definitely kind of a Frito smell. Yeah, if you keep a sand bath in their cage, they tend to get rid of that smell themselves, but, if I hold him and he happens to pee, which is very rare, but sometimes it happens, you can smell it. And the guinea pigs will smell pretty quickly if I don't stay on top of their cage. Guinea pigs can reek if you don't stay on top of cleaning. What toys do your hedgehogs like to play with best? My hedgehogs don't play with toys. I have tried rubber duckies, toy trucks, toy skateboards, cat toys. I mean, you name it. My hedgehogs have had it. The best thing that they have, or the thing that they have used the most, is probably a dig box. But other than that, they really haven't messed with toys much. Some hedgehogs love toys. Mine just... They can't be fussed. Is there a 2-story critter nation? If so, what do they look like? These cages behind you. They are what they look like. Or here. Again, spin around. This one here, that's a 2-story. So a single story is just this bottom level. And the stand, not this stand, but the stand that it's sitting on. And then that's the second level, and that's in addition to the single story. And this is called a double critter nation. And all of my pets technically are in double critter nations. You can see here. Let me set you guys back up. Okay. Do you put a dark pillowcase over your cage where the heat light is and it still works fine? I don't cover the cages because they have their own room, so I just turn the lights off at night and keep it pitch black. But when they were in my bedroom, I did cover them with a blanket. The heat lamps work fine, as long as you have a thermostat on the heat lamps. Do your hedgehogs live in aquariums? No, they live in critter nations. Those are the cages that I just showed you, but they're the same as these cages here behind me. Would you ever get a gerbil and fish? I would not get fish. Not a fan of fish. Well, it's not that I'm not a fan. I just don't want to take care of fish. I would get gerbils. I would totally get gerbils. In fact, I feel like gerbils would be pretty good in critter nations. I know a lot of people that use them for them with some modification. I use an exercise cage for my hedgehog to live in, and I use fleece, but he always goes under it. Yeah, that's pretty normal. They like to burrow under things. Oh, can hedgehogs live in aquariums? Debatable. I answered that in my Q&A, actually. But yeah, it's pretty debatable. Do your guinea pigs have litter boxes? If so, do they use it? Yeah. There's their litter box there. They don't totally use it, but they pee and poop the most where they eat. And so I have one under their hay because they'll sit and eat there all night long, and then they pee everywhere, and it's easier to change out a litter box. It also catches a lot of the hay. Can you do a DIY video in the future? DIY video on what? I actually might be doing a DIY treat mix for hamsters video sometime soon because I'm almost out of our treat mix and I'd like to buy more. Have your hedgies ever had green poop? Yes. When they first came home, they both had green poop. It's a sign of stress. How often do you take your hedgehogs to the vet? Whenever they're ill, and I try and get them in for yearly visits. We skipped them this year, but we normally do every year. Who's your favorite Harry Potter character? Probably Draco Malfoy. I feel like he's very misunderstood. Second to that would be Hermione, because I like a good, strong female character. They are just... I have my windows open because it's not nice out. It's actually about to storm, but it feels nice out, and I open my windows and they can hear everyone just making them bark like crazy. What happens if you don't hold your hedgehog much? They usually become unsocialized. It sort of depends on the hedgehog, but they'll usually become unsocialized, which means they'll get huffier. I would like a DIY video also, maybe like DIY toys for hamsters and guinea pigs. I might do something like that. Guys, I'll be really honest, I'm not very good at DIYs. That's why I don't have any on my channel, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I do. But, yeah, maybe. I might. Have you ever had CNC cages? Yes, I have had a lot of CNC cages. A ton. The hedgehogs were originally in CNC cages. The guinea pigs were originally in a CNC cage. I think I have a video of all of our past CNC cages. In fact, my very first video, way back when I started this channel, wasn't even really active back then. I posted like 2 videos. But that is a CNC cage. That's my very first CNC cage. I didn't even make that one. I actually bought it from the guinea pig cages store before I knew that it was way less expensive to make your own. Yeah, that was a 2x3, and then I did 2x2s, and then we got blazed, so I did a stacked 2x2, one on top, one on bottom, and I had linoleum instead of coroplast in that cage. Then I did 1x3s, and then we got the guinea pigs, and they were in a 2x3.5, and then a 2x4, and then a 2x5, and then a 2x6, and then now everybody's in Critter Nations. Can you please do a DIY snuggle sack? Probably not. I bought all of my snuggle sacks, to be honest, guys. It's about to storm in Lincoln and E2. Yeah, it's about to storm pretty bad here. In fact, I'm gonna have to hop off pretty soon so I can run the dogs outside to go pee before it starts raining. I should hop off soon anyway because I've been on for 45 minutes already, guys. Are 12-inch hamster balls recommended for hedgehogs? If you're gonna use them, that's the size you should go with, yes. Make sure you keep your hedgehog's nails clipped so that they don't get caught in the holes. What's the best enclosure for a hedgehog when you live in Florida? You could use pretty much any of them in Florida because you'll have less issues with heating depending on how cold you keep your house. I mean, if you like your AC, then. But Florida has really, really mild weather. I mean, it gets hot, but cold-wise. So you could do pretty much anything. Are tenrecs good pets? Are they nicer than pygmy hedgehogs? They are good pets, and they are nicer. They are far more expensive. Not that hedgehogs are mean. They're just... tenrecs are really easy to bond with. Wow, it's windy, guys. Did you see my hair blow? That's from my window. Wow. Anyway. What made you switch to Critter Nations? My cat, actually. So I switched to Critter Nations, partially my cat. I switched to Critter Nations for the hedgehogs when we got our cat because he actually burned himself on the heat lamps. I wasn't worried about him eating the hedgehogs or anything. I just was worried, him jumping in the cages. He burned his tail. It wasn't bad. He singed the fur. He didn't burn himself. But still. So I got a Critter Nation for that. It's also easier for me to sort of clean and stuff because they're wide open and neither one is on the floor, so it was easier on my back. But yeah, sorry, I got distracted scrolling up. But what caused me to switch everybody else to Critter Nations is the cat. He just kept trying to eat everybody. We definitely never planned on getting a cat. He just kind of moved in. In fact, I made a video when he was staying with us, and I was like, we're not keeping a cat. It's been a year since then. So, yeah, I got cages that he can't get into. Plus, these are all easier on my back. Hedgehogs usually can't have hamster balls. Wheels are okay, though. Wheels are a must. They need to have wheels in their cages. But hamster balls are okay if your hedgehog will use them. You need to be supervising because they can't be running around in their pee and poop in a hamster ball. It can make them sick. Plus, they'll be covered in it. And their nails need to be short. If their nails are long, they'll get stuck. Can you decorate the cages the same way you did before the Critter Nations? What do you mean? Like my Marauders map stuff? I can still put stuff up if I put my Coroplast back up. I haven't done that yet just because I've been, lazy. I haven't put the Coroplast back on the cages because my guys don't climb. I had it up to sort of help with heating. You should do more live streams. I'm gonna try. Please show us Draco. Draco was on at the beginning of the stream. I'm not gonna get him back out just because I'm gonna hop off soon because the storm is coming, guys. It's coming. What's the highest temp a hedgehog can be in? I'd say probably like 82 to 85. You're really pushing it in the 80s. Like, they'd survive, but you'd be pushing it. They'd be hot. So, I know sometimes it can't be helped and people put in like frozen water bottles and ceramic tiles and stuff, but it's definitely anything over 80 is getting too hot. What if a hedgehog is past 80 degrees? Is that bad or okay? It depends on how far past 80 degrees. If you're talking like 82, it sort of depends. I wouldn't keep them that hot just because they'll get used to being that hot, but would you get a reptile, and what is your favorite? Maybe one day, if I was to get one, we'd probably get a bearded dragon. Just by holding your hedgehog in a bonding bag or letting it run around, does that make you bond? Well, letting it run around isn't really bonding. I mean, it's getting used to its environment then, but not really you. But holding it in a bonding bag, if the bonding bag's like on you, yes, that's bonding. Oh, like can I decorate like with the wall clings or the window clings? No, I can't use those on Critter Nations because they're wire, which kind of stinks. But I can put like cage signs up and stuff if I wanted to, so I can decorate sort of, but I can't use the little sticky sticker things. In fact, I've got a bunch of them now that I can put them on the windows, you know, which is all right because we've got 2 pretty big windows here. Well, I guess it's one big window, but they're 2 separate windows, so I could decorate the room, not really the cages anymore. What do you love of owning a hedgehog? They're just really unique, and it's really rewarding when they trust you because you usually have to work at it. Plus, they're a lot of fun. Do hedgies bite their cages? Also, what is a bonding bag? No, not really. They're not chewers. They're not rodents. Rodents will chew bars if they're stressed out or whatever the case may be. And a bonding bag, is like a snuggle sack with a strap. You can carry them around in it. What's your favorite animal? I'm not sure that I have one. Like domestic or wild? Because my favorite wild animal is a red panda. Oh, my hedgehog passed last night. I'm sorry. That's so sad. Oh, he was 5. Yeah, that's the age. That's the tricky number. Is coconut oil okay for hedgies? I put it in my hedgehog's bathwater, but now she smells bad. Coconut oil is good for hedgies. You might have used too much. It can kind of go putrid on them a little. You might want to give her another bath if she smells. Do you spend most of your day taking care of your pets? A good chunk of it. A pretty good chunk of it, yeah. Ethan, you can feed mealworms to hamsters. Mine eat mealworms. Mine eat a lot of mealworms because I have them on hand all the time because of the Tenric now. Do your guinea pigs ever bite the bars? Mine do in the morning when they are waiting for food. No, mine have never bit the bars. They're more vocal. They kind of weak at me. So they're not bar chewers, but that's pretty normal for them. My guinea pig died last month and he was 7. Wow, he was old. I'm sorry for your loss, though. 7's really impressive for a guinea pig. I used oatmeal for mine. Yeah, oatmeal's pretty common, too. Do you work or is YouTube full-time? YouTube's definitely... I wouldn't call it a full-time job, but YouTube's all I do. And take care of the pets and the house. I'm kind of a housewife, guys. That sounds awful. Calling myself a housewife. Hi, Rose. My hedgehog bites his water bottle. What should I do? I would switch to a water bowl. That was the only solution with my hedgehog. Do you feed insects to hedgehogs? If so, how often, how much, and what kind? I do. I feed insects probably 3 to 4 times a week, and so far they have eaten mealworms, the mealworm pupa, darkling beetles, dubia roaches, waxworms, butterworms. I think that's it they've liked. I think that's it. When you were younger, did you ever think you would have this many animals? No, I definitely didn't. My mom's not big on animals. I mean, she likes them, but she's not big on, like, owning them. They're a big responsibility. Lots of money. Go let the doggies pee outside before the storm comes. Yes, I need to do that, actually. I'm letting it get to an hour, but that's only 4 minutes away. So, do you take your hedgehogs to vets for regular checkups? I try to. I skipped it this year. We should take them in soon, actually, so I don't totally skip it. But they were due in February, which is when we moved. So, yeah, I try to make sure they go in. Is fleece the perfect thing for guinea pigs? Honestly, it depends. Some people hate fleece for guinea pigs. I love it, but I think it's personal preference. How rare is it for hedgehogs to bite? It depends on the bite. It's pretty common for them to nibble at you because when they anoint, they chew on things. That doesn't really hurt. They can bite if they learn to bite, though, which can be problematic. But it's pretty rare. They're more likely to ball up on you, to be honest. Can you vlog them going into the vet? Maybe. It depends on when we take them and stuff, and if I feel comfortable doing that. I'm still a little weird about, taking out the camera in front of other people, per se. Do you have an air purifier? I don't now because it broke right before we moved, of course. So I haven't bought a new one yet because they're just a little bit pricey. I'll buy a new one soon, but I did have one. I got my hedgehog 5 days ago and I'm going to give him a bath. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Yep, you're good. Just don't be surprised if he's a little freaked out, because baths when they're new, especially if they're young, they can be a little stressful. Alright, guys, I'm gonna have to go in like a minute or two. My hedgehog bites a lot but doesn't ball up. I bleed because of that. See, some hedgehogs are just wonky. They learn what works best with their owners, I think. Do your hedgehogs eat veggies? If so, what do they eat? Mine eat carrots and spring mix. Neither of mine eat vegetables. They're not a fan. By the way, they have them for $15 at Walmart. Shoot. An air purifier? Yeah, but they're you have to get them based on the size of the room. So the $15 ones are for like small areas, and I need like a super duper one because of all the pets. Alright, guys, so I've been on for an hour. I'm gonna go ahead and go. This storm's really picking up, and I want to get the dogs outside before it starts getting too wicked. Plus, I just got a 20% battery remaining notification. So, thank you all for watching and hanging out with me for a little bit. This will go up as an actual video after the stream is done, so you guys can watch it back later if you want, or you know, whatever you want to do with it. I do believe your questions disappear though, and all new ones start up. I filmed a Q&A before this live stream, so that should be coming out as the next video. So if you have any more questions, you can of course leave them down below on that video. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna run before it gets really, really gross outside. Look at it. It's pretty brutal out there. Actually, you really can't tell on the camera. The camera makes it look like it's not gross at all outside. That's great. It's making me seem like a liar. Anyway, all right. Bye, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll try and do these more soon.